Once upon a time, there lived a bunny and his dear childhood friend. The bunny's name was PolishLynx, and the friend's Papaya. PolishLynx was getting ready to visit his grandmother, who lived deep in the forest. He was excited to meet his grandfather, for it had been quite some time since the two last met. PolishLynx loved his grandmother very much, for having lost his parents as a child, he had no family other than his grandmother. PolishLynx will be alright going by herself, but now he also had Papaya, with whom he had been friends ever since they were but the little bunnies, littlest of bunnies. Today Papaya had stopped by his house to borrow a book. It was good that she was able to meet PolishLynx just as he was getting ready to leave, otherwise they would have surely missed each other. Yeah, don't worry, I've been there countless times, I know the way like the back of my paw. Very well, you take care, will you? Say hi to your grandmother for me. I will, you take care too. Goodbye. And he forgot something. They had a casual exchange goodbyes many times. None of them thought anything of it, for they would always see each other again by the next morning, or if not, no later than the next. Yet this time Papaya felt strangely uneasy. There was this unexplainable worry within her, as though she had just watched PolishLynx leaving for a land far, far away. But she brushed aside the feeling as it was unfounded. Huh? What is that? Why is there a lunchbox here? Oh dear, this must be lunch PolishLynx prepared for his grandmother. How forgetful of him! Nature is gruesome. Living beings eat each other for survival. The mighty eat the weak, the mighty eat the mighty, and the mightiest eat the mightier. Thus the food chain is complete. For example, the corn is eaten by the chicken, and the chicken is eaten by the wolf. The small fish is eaten by the big fish, and the big fish is eaten by the wolf. The grass is eaten by the deer, and the deer is eaten by the wolf. The carrot is eaten by the rabbit, and the rabbit... I'm hungry! Now where is the bunny? Cold-edged goldfish, that impossibly strong fellow in robot suit whom the wolf encountered earlier, had told the wolf about the bunny that was soon to pass through the forest path. The wolf was getting impatient. His thought wandered from what to do with rabbit meat. He'd get by slaughtering the poor bunny, to why there was no name for rabbit meat, like beef for cow meat, pork for pigs, mutton for sheep, venison for... There he was! The bunny was here. I would take him by surprise. The wolf thought to himself. Why are you? Who are you? Why did you suddenly attack me? The wolf had not expected a swift counterattack. Who would have thought such a seemingly harmless cute little bunny would be one to possess a fighting power of such height? Prowess? It was only that morning that the wolf had been defeated so embarrassingly by Goldfish Goldfish, and now he was humiliated again, this time by a meager bunny which was to be his prey. Curses, I will be back! Wait! PolishLynx wanted to run after his attacker but then stopped. Grandmother is waiting for me, he reminded himself. With a sigh he put back his sword and decided not to pursue his sudden attacker because he didn't want to make his grandmother wait too long. What if the wolf attacked his girlfriend? There he goes, my lunch. As the wolf was going to stop for his loss, he saw a familiar sight. It was the fellow in robotics again. He smiled at the wolf as if sympathizing with his unseemly defeat. Difficulties, huh, wolf? Allow me to amend the last sentence. That smile was very obviously a mocking one that says you are worthless. There will be payback. I'll eat that bunny no matter what. Not as long as you fight as a fool does. I warned you, and I warn you yet again. PolishLynx is not to be taken lightly. Listen to my plan. The smile on Goldfish's face changed. It was now a smile which could be seen only on the face of the most evil of villains, a smile not of happiness nor amusement, but of contempt. Why did I start that DVD actually? A few hours later, PolishLynx arrived at his grandmother's house. Grandmother, I'm here! How peculiar, he usually found his mother right there, waiting for her beloved grandchild, ready to greet him as grandmother would grandson. Grandmother? Yeah, honey, I'm here. A heavy voice came from far inside the house. Huh? Who's that? Oh, there you are, grandmother. For a second there, I thought you were gone. I'm sorry, my lovely Papa Rock, I just from the bathroom. Wait, had his grandmother always looked like that? Had she always sounded like that? Had she always giggled like that? Grandmother, what a deep voice you have. The better to greet you with. What big eyes you have. The better to see you with. What big hands you have. The better to hug you with. And what a big mouth you have! The better to eat you with! No! For skillful as he was, Populus was expecting such an aggression from his grandmother, and his careless sense had led the wolf to swallow him whole. Populus! After noticing the lunchbox the Populus had thrown, Papaya went after him to the grandmother's house. However, what she saw in the house was something that completely missed her anticipation. Release him, you filthy animal! Papaya was not only Populus' childhood friend. Truth be told, the two bunnies had been trained in the art of sword fighting, and they regularly sparred against one another. As far as skills went, Papaya's was comparable of that to Populus'. Her strikes were fierce, her sword grazed the wolf's skin beautifully time and time again, each slash accurately aimed so as to inflict most damage to the wolf without harming Populus, who she knew was inside the wolf. Papaya easily outpowered the wolf. Though the fiend was strong, his attacks were not but feckless, for none found its way to his opponent. With one last quick, precise, calculated strike, Papaya landed a deciding final blow onto her beastly enemy, cutting his furry body open. Populus! Papaya! The two bunnies were happy to see each other. Papaya was relieved to see that her friend was fine, and Populus felt thankful that his friend had saved him from the wolf. Papaya! Populus was stunned. He couldn't believe his own two eyes. The sight of his child friend gradually losing her life was already too much, but once her lifeless body hit the floor, a more dreadful horror was revealed. He looked in disbelief at the killer who had cold-bloodedly murdered his dear friend. Grandmother! Populus shouted, his voice trembling from shock, despair, anger, and confusion. It wasn't possible. This was a lie. This wasn't real. This was a bad joke. No, his grandmother didn't just kill his child friend, not his dearest, loving grandmother. The grandmother who had looked after him ever since he was just a little bunny. The grandmother who always welcomed him with blunt joy whenever he came to this house. His grandmother couldn't be a murderer. His grandmother would never betray him. His mother wasn't. Hello, my grandson. How are you, my love Populus? Have you come to visit grandmother again? Come, Populus, tea. What is this, grandmother? Why did you kill Papaya? There was no other way, Populus. She had inferred just as my plan came to fruition. Yeah, my plan to kill you. To have the damn wolf at you. So needn't I dirty my hand with the blood which you spill? Why? Why, grandmother? Why don't you want to? Do you want to kill me? There is no grandmother, Populus. I'm not your grandmother. Populus froze. All his life he had been lied to. His whole life was one huge lie. Nothing would delight Populus more than waking up from this nightmare, but the only wake-up call he got was what his not grandmother said next. I murdered your parents, Populus. Not my fault, really. They tried to stop my plans. They tried to prevent me from rooting over the swords. I then took you as my own. How I hoped you would stand beside me as we looked down upon those unworthy peasants, Populus. We could have been conquerors. We could have ruled over everyone and everything. Alas, those miserable parents of yours kept obstructing me even after their death. Their legacy enticed you into becoming a warrior of justice, one that tirelessly fights against evil. I have failed, Populus. I failed to raise you to be my right hand, before you become more and more a thorn in my side, which you inevitably will should I leave you alone. I am too rid of you. Prepare to die, Populus! His head felt empty. He still couldn't believe it. First, he witnessed his dear child friend fall to her death right in front of him. Now, he just killed someone whom he called grandmother for all of his life. Staying by himself, Populus looked around the room, his eyes devoid of any emotion. There was the slain body of the wolf, from which he had returned to life. Papaya, his dear friend and his savior, lay motionless on the floor. Her face still looked lovely as always, but it now was not dissimilar to a breathless, inanimate doll. He then looked at the last one, his dead grandmother, whom he both loved and hated. Why was the world so cruel? Was life playing a trick on him? Was God somewhere laughing at his hopelessness? Ha 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 ha! Populus broke in uncontrollable violent laughter. He picked up his laser sword as he continued laughing hysterically. And then all lived happily ever after. Okay, that was weird. We are not watching that again. I see my delivery wasn't delivered yet. Has not been delivered yet. New Vatican interchange. There we go. Yes. Here we go. Whoa, so huge, and it looks really majestic. Can't say I'm not impressed. Well, take your time marking the place. In the embassy picture of saying the text behind is one zoom and quite due to zoom. I have no idea what that means. Praise the those who blew the plants of the galaxy in chapter 4 verse 12. In some archaic language using the official common language, translation of Galactic Union design Bible may sound alien for some. It's worth noting, however, that there is a good reason behind its use, namely to avoid ambiguity as the language is, in some cases, more expressive. Consider a case of second-person personal pronoun, for example. In our everyday language, the word you can be both singular and plural, and can be used as both subject and object. But in the older dialect, as is used in codex, there are different words to present second-person pronoun depending on the case and whether it is singular or plural. The singular subjective cause is fo, singular objective is fe, plural subjective is ye, and plural objective is you. I don't care. Do you know the saint on your right? Yes. I don't remember. The saint house. He is also the name born by this basilica, the Basilica of St. Vals. In Isaiah, Saint Zaytwoga is regarded as the most important saint. That is not wrong, but people often forget that St. Vals precedes Saint Zaytwoga. St. Vals was probably also even more influential. There are many legends surrounding him, some of which are even rejected by the church due to unbelievability and lack of historical evidence. Yeah, like church needs historical evidence. St. Vals is titled the Equus Medician, which literally means the meditating knight, but is formally translated by the church as Sage Knight. Please don't talk to me anymore. Thank you. Ouch! Oh, I'm sorry. God damn it, you fool! Don't you have eyes, asshole? Really? Ah, that stupid darn thing should be in operation now. Time to go. Whoa, a full moonful moon. No, that's something you don't see every day. I bet inside the ministry should be all quite nice and shit and stuff, still as a statue of Saint in part like an angel, what a great. Sadly, she reminds me of my own family, never misses a prayer, knows every sacred day by heart, won't even befriend people of different beliefs out of fear of being influenced. Yet when it comes to business, there is no hesitation to crush their rivals until they have nothing or even until they are dead. These people are actors who pretend that they are admirable inside the church but are despicable outside, aren't they? You're wrong, Marlon. Religion does make people good or bad. It shows people ways to become good, but it all depends on the person whether they want to see or not. Is that so? Say what you want, but I don't have such a positive outlook on this whole Zayan thing. The president should really be wary of this place. Coup d'etat can happen anytime from here. But of course nobody dares to investigate the place. People would complain that they defile a holy place. But will those who want to overthrow the government care whether the place is holy or not? In fact, doesn't every rebel base his action on righteousness? We are looking at this in a much too complicated perspective. Maybe so, don't know. The original teaching of Zayan is about relationship with oneself, relationship with people, and even with the universe. They are all formed on the basis of love and charity, yeah. But people today have misunderstood the teaching of Zayan. There are some who think that the only solution for many problems in the Union is religion. It is not at all wrong, since religion could motivate us to make a better world for all people. Yeah, right. But the ones of whom I'm speaking, they would turn the Zayan religion into political power. It is dangerous. Politics that are backed by religion are like a car that have not a brake. You keep driving faster and faster until it is all too late. They are praying, we shouldn't bother them. They are praying. Okay. Hello? How many spaceships do you think would fit in this basilica? A lot. Let's find a place new. Let's find a place where we can take a rest. Okay, let's go. Well, you sense that this is the... I feel like smoking a cigar. Why don't we chat for a bit here, Fonzie? Or do you still want to look around? Rest. The cigar in Marlon's right hand is lit. He leans forward to the handrail, staring far into a breathtaking view of the city visible from the balcony. Just below is full of buildings. Buildings that are tall and shiny, like they are coated in burnished silver. The view is gorgeous, not unlike that which we saw as we were about to land on the planet. Oh, I forgot to offer you a cigar. You want one, Bonzi? His hand tries to reach his pocket, where he keeps quite a lot of cigars. He probably saves them for occasions like this. I quit since 5 years ago. 5 years? So you did smoke. What were you like 5 years ago, Bonzi? Was he the same sort of person who I'm looking at now? You are very strong in a fight, but I can tell that you always try to avoid it. Is that who you are? Who you were? A man so patient he just stood silent as a barbaric nun screamed profanities at him. You are being over the top, Marlon. I don't think she was a nun. She looked young. Most likely a novice. She'll learn how to have better attitude in the process of becoming a nun. Though look at you defending her. You're too kind. I just hope you're not gonna be as kind when a space pirate is about to kill me. But I'm not that kind. I can see Marlon's subtle smile as he blows the smoke from his cigar, still leaning to the handrail in front of him that parts the balcony from the sea of shiny metal buildings below. He now looks up at the blue sky adorned by holographic rings encircling the basilica. Besides, my job description didn't say anything about defending myself against a sister in a bad mood. Wow. It's funny how that laugh caused his cigar to almost fall out of his mouth and he caught it in reflex. Good lord, that almost killed me. How far is it from here to the freaking ground below? 200 meters, give it or take 50. Marlon now turns around, facing the other way. If his cigar falls again, it will be to the balcony floor. It's probably what he thought. You undervalue yourself, Bonzi. Even a Mazda mosquito would feel safer flying around you. You know, I am a merchant. I've met a lot of people. I've seen all kinds of personality, and I'm seldom wrong. But you know what? I don't give much thought to the past. The past traps you, Bonzi. If you give it into it. The future, on the other hand, is a mystery or an illusion. Neither of them is real. What's real is the present. The present. Marlon pauses as he smokes his cigar again. The present is what's most important, Bonzi. As the sun that is shining so brightly at the buildings below blinks before that brief moment of time, my mind drifts together with a gust of wind, taking me back to that time. A time long before this day. How long? Before the encounter was with Kiffy, before Mother operated on me, that chip. Oh, it's getting interesting. Let's find out about the chip in the next episode. Because it's time to actually end this. So see you in the next one, hopefully. Bye.